So any balance exercise you do is going to involve the hips. And here's a couple of things that people don't do very often, and I think they're worth doing once in a while at least, is doing heel-toe walking. Stare out into space and see if you can, you know, fool the police into thinking you weren't drunk. You might want to do up to 50 steps. You might only want to do 10. But it's a skill I think you should be able to do. And if you can't do it, grab your PVC pipes, you know, and get used to it. And then when you don't need them, don't use them. Alright, another one you can do, which is similar to the tibialis raises, is just to walk up on your heels. And when I'm out for a walk, I always do a couple of blocks of heel walks. Up on the heels. Like that. And then definitely do some toe walking. And toe walking is probably better to do barefoot. So, and that'll just stretch out the muscles in your legs a little bit, and of course it will affect your hips also, and it'll improve your balance and all that stuff. So there's some exercises that I like to just throw in. Okay, so now I'm going to take some time to loosen up my spine a little bit with this soft volleyball. And then I'm going to do some pelvic crunches with this. Okay, though you can use any size ball you want, whatever feels good for you. So I just like to I find that this ball fits between my shoulder blades really nice, and I can get some extra stretching on my spine and up there in the upper back. But, you know, be careful when you do stuff. If you're not used to it, maybe you want to talk to your doctor first. Or maybe not. Okay, so enough of that. And now I'm going to do these pelvic crunches. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ball right about here and hopefully get my hips to pop out like that a little bit. So it takes quite a bit of pressure, and if you have the ball too high, it probably won't help. It won't happen, I mean. So I put it just below the top of my knees, and I get all nice and flat, and then I squeeze like crazy, trying to get my legs to go this way, and see if we can hear a pop. No, I didn't get one that time because I've been doing this regularly, and if you're doing it all the time, you won't get that little pop in your hips. And then you can do as many of these as you want, but it really has a nice feeling on your hips. And I'll do one more. There we go. Okay. Okay, so this one's going to, this exercise is going to work your obliques up here on the sides. It's going to work your glutes and hip flexors all down through here. So this is definitely one I would add into your routine. And this is what I call the doorway oblique exercise. Okay, and the next variation is just to go outside of the doorway a little wider. All right, is we'll do the elbow to wall, and this way you can go a little deeper and work those obliques a little harder. And we'll do 16 on the other side. There we go. That feels great. Okay, so here's a bit of a new squatting routine that I've been working on, and I'm really liking it's given my hips a little more flexibility, some strength, some new range. So everybody, you know, hopefully can get into a deep squat. If you can't, just keep working on it. You know, you can sit on a couch and get into it from there, but hopefully you can just get into a deep squat like this and enjoy it. You know, move your feet farther apart, circle one way, circle the other, lean on an angle this way, back this way, okay, go this way, and go back this way. But something new I've been trying to do and have been able to get to is a really narrow squat where your feet are together, and you might feel like you're going to tip over, so you might have to put a hand behind you and hug your legs as tight as you can and just hold that position. I'll get lots of pops and cracks in my back and shoulders and neck. Everything's popping back into place. So maybe for some of you it's easy. If it is, let me know. But for me this was challenging. The first time I tried it I couldn't do it. but now I'm getting to like it, and I'm able to do a little bit of motion without falling over. So I take that as a good sign. Okay, so that's a narrow stance squat. And now the other thing that I've been adding is uneven raised squats. So instead of having both feet on the same level, on the same ground level, I'll raise one up. So like this. So get yourself a mat or a cushion and then start roaming around like this. Go the other way, go this way, go back, go this way, go back. Okay, and then from there, oh, and I'm going to get my blocks in position here. From here, you could go into a low Cossack stretch, try and get those adductors stretched out even more. Okay, and pulse into place. Move around a little bit. Okay, and then, because I can't do a full Cossack squat yet, but it's definitely on the list of things I must relearn how to do and get the strength to do it, is you can just do pulses like this. And eventually get up. Okay, and then from there, you could do the same routine on, you know, twice the height of a raised mat. So I'm going to just show that. So might be better to just squat down when your legs are on the same level, and then put one up here and then get back into your squat. Because that's definitely a position that most people never get into. All right, and let's try it up on 3. Hopefully you can see that. And then when you go down this way, you're definitely going to feel it in your hip here. There, I just got a click in my neck. So it's going to work on your knees too, strengthen them. All right, so there we go. Now let's go to the other side. We'll do the whole routine again. And you know, anytime I'm exercises and I just, something comes into my mind and I feel like, oh, I should do that, I do it. So I just kind of had a feeling that I needed to do a few elephant walk stretches. There, that feels good. And now I'm ready to go back to what I was doing. And let's get into the deep squat. Move around a little bit. Okay, now we're going to try that narrow stance squat again. Okay. Get my legs nice and close together. Back on the heels. Not falling over, hopefully. It's okay if you do. And then squeeze as tight as you can. Rock around. And what the heck, I'm going to roll out of it. Yay! Alright, that was fun. Okay, uneven squat. Wiggle around. You know, I heard somebody on YouTube say that, and he was talking about one specific exercise, saying you need to explore it. And that made a little thought come into my mind that all exercise should be exploratory. You know, learn to do your own thing, do an exercise, try and do as many positions as you can with it, or just stretch it out a little bit. All that's really good stuff. Let's go into the low Cossack stretch, get my blocks in place here. Whoa! There they go. All right, stretch out that adductors and abductors and whatever else is in there, conductors and whatever. All right, and then let's see, we'll do some pulses here. And let's see if we can get all the way up. Okay, there we go. That was good. All right. Now let's get up on 2 mats here. Start working it. Oh yeah. When I do this, I can really feel it in this hip here. So, stretching it out. It's okay to put your hands on the ground. It's okay to do whatever you want. All exercise should be exploratory. I think that's a great thing to get into your exercise mentality. Okay, and let's raise it up a bit more. Okay, and just doing this is a bit of a workout in itself. Ugh. And then when you come back to here, life feels fun and easy. Okay, let's move on. Standing knee raises, and we're going to do them front, and then we're going to do them side to side. So let's do 16 on each side, so that'll be 32 in total. 1, 2, and then we'll try and do them out to the side a little more. Okay, you can definitely feel that in the hips. All right, so we'll take a break from there and go to the next exercise. Okay, so I'm sure everybody at one time or another has done hip circles. I think the thing that might be missing is to do enough of them to actually get the joints lubricated and loosened up. So I'm going to do 50 this way, clockwise, and then I'm going to do 50 counterclockwise. So here we go. Yabba dabba doo. Whew, bless me. Okay, so I think that's around 50, and now I'm going to go counterclockwise, and I got different pops and clicks at various times, and I like to push the, you know, if it feels right, I just push in a certain area and keep going. So anyway, here we go, 50 counterclockwise. And there's 50. Okay, that feels good. Okay, so now we're going to do wider hip circles, and these take a little while to get used to. You know, if you're used to doing them here and just a, you know, a smaller circle, and then you got to go wide. You have to kind of develop your own style. So might look a little weird, look a little funky, but I find I get some extra pops and clicks out of my knees and my hips, and they loosen up a bit. So I'm going to do 30 on each direction. So this is clockwise, and we're going to do 30. All right, now let's go the other way. there's a nice spot. Okay. All right, so that feels good. Okay, so our hips are getting loosened up. We're getting our back, you know, decompressed from doing all our hanging. So let's do some mini Cossack stretches. Now, you know, a Cossack stretch is where you go all the way down, and they're pretty difficult. So I like to get warmed up just by doing some mini ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Let's try and do 30 on each side. There we go. Other side. All right, now if you find those are a little wobbly and they don't feel good, you could always try them with some PVC pipes or anything that you have handy, if that helps you keep your balance. If you want to get a little lower, you know, you can put some weight on these and still stretch up the hips. Whoop, had a little knee issue there. 4. Okay, there's 30, and let's try 30 this way. So a little deeper. Getting those adductors stretched out. And let's see if we can take it one step further. We'll see how it goes here. And finally, we're going to do sissy squats. And I like to make sure I'm really warmed up when I do these, so I'm going to do at least 50 with 4 cushions here. And this last cushion here just makes it so I don't have to use quite as much knee pressure to get back up. So it's a great way to warm up without straining yourself. And this exercise is using your hips, it's using a lot of knees and right through here too, so it's a really good one. There's 30. And let's see how we feel when we get here. Now, if you find you don't feel good, you can tuck your toes in underneath the cushions. That'll bring your knees, let me see here, that'll bring your knees a little closer and the angle won't be as severe. And so you can do that if you feel having your toes out here is a little too hard. Sometimes I need them underneath, sometimes I don't. We'll do 10 more. That'll be 60. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay. Okay, so here's 3 great little hip warm-up exercises, depending on how much room you have or how ambitious you feel. So the first one is you can just do some leg wraps. And you can do them like this too, start in the front and go around to the back, start in the front, go around to the back. Just something to get your hips moving. And obviously a bit of a balance exercise too. Let me see if I can do better. Okay, so that time I kind of bent my knee a little bit, got my balance on one side, and then started the twist. Okay, so that's one good thing you can do. Another one, I've heard this called 2 different names, peacock lunge or a curtsy lunge, where you step back into the side and then lunge down like that. I guess there's nothing wrong with doing it forwards too. Remember, all exercise is exploratory. I'm making this one up right now. I've never done that before. I've only done the backwards version. 1, 2, 3. I guess it's the same thing, just stepping forward. 4. Oh. 1. And you could do this with 2 chairs if you needed more balance. 3. 3. 4. Oh, and this one here. My body says I should hang out here a little bit. So whenever I'm exercising, if my mind tells me I should just stretch somewhere, I'll just hang out and do whatever my subconscious mind tells me to do. Alright, so there we go. Curtsy lunge, peacock lunge, whatever you want to call it. it's all a good hip warm-up. And that leads to the next one, is the karaoke running drill that you'll see on track and field or basketball court warm-ups and all that, where you step forward and behind, and you'll see people doing it running. It's hard to do here in an apartment, but there's nothing wrong with doing just as many steps as you can. 2, 3, okay, and then 1, 2, 3. So, you know, if you're stuck in your apartment, it's winter, you can't get out, whatever it is, do them. They're all great hip warm-up exercises, okay? And if you start your you know, exercise routine with them, I think it'll feel good on your hips. All right, and Patrick steps. $25 on that side, let's do 25 on the right. Whoa, losing some balance there. That was 16. Okay, and then you can raise this up gradually. I have these, what are they, MDF boards, and you know, raising it up just a little bit at a time, because if you tried to go from there and you've never done this before and add on a riser, that's going to be way too much for you. So I recommend you just add half an inch, maybe a full inch at a time, depending on your level and ability, and then go from there, because it makes a big difference on the angle of your knee. Alright, and we'll do 10 on this side. Okay, there we go. All right. And of course, we can't talk hips without the ATG Split Squat. Ben Patrick, knees over the toes, genius guy. I like to do a 30-second stretch down here, and I'll just pulse out for 30 seconds, trying to stretch out the adductors here over on this leg, over here. And then I'll do however many reps, squats that I am in the mood for. I'm going to do 8 today. So that's probably close to 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Try to stay up on the toes on the back leg. 4, 5. Whoa. 6, 7, and 8. Switch legs. Another 30 seconds, trying to stretch out the adductors and all the other ductors in there. Do a few pulses. Oh. And then we'll do 8 reps here. And I find sometimes when I am losing my balance is because I'm not pushing on my toes here and remembering to push on my toes on my back leg. And I tend to lose balance. But anyway, there you go. You can never do too many of those. You can do them with weights. You can do them down on the floor. They're just fantastic. Okay, next exercise. Well, I had no intention of doing these in this workout. However, it dawned on me that I should see if I can do a side kick or a back kick, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just using this for balance because I just tried a few and I have horrible balance. So we'll do the side kick or back kick with some balance cushions. So we're going to chamber our leg and pivot the bottom foot, and we're going to kick out, raise it as high as we can, come back and down. I'll do 4 of those. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that feels good, and it feels like I need to do these because my hips feel relatively weak. I should be able to do that without any balance cushions. I'm sure somewhere in the past I could do them. So let's drag them over here. And we'll do 4 on this side. So we'll pivot and chamber. 1. This side feels easier. 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna keep working on those. That seemed fun. You can definitely feel it in my hips, which means they're a little weak and they don't have any strength to pick up my leg. Which then brings me to something dancers do, which I'm not a dancer, and make sure you have insurance if you ever dance with me. But let me see if we can pick up our leg and then extend it out. 1, That's the size I can do it without help. 4. Whoa. 1, no help. 2. 3. Whoa, what a difference, eh? And 4. Okay. Definitely going to add those into my workouts. All right. Okay, onward to the next exercise. Okay, so there's the end of my hips and I guess call it hips plus workout. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some new ideas for exercising.